So this video is to give you an idea of some of the features of our caravan from the outside perspective. I'll just go around and show you some of the hatches and how some of the functionalities on the van work. So starting at the front of the van, this is where we hitch up to our truck. Got a jockey wheel there, dual gas bottles. I've added some Bunnings gas safety switch there, which also has indicator of the levels of the gas bottles. There is a regulator at the back that you can also switch which gas bottle you're operating from. It's got a shield in the front to protect it from stones. The van's got a stone guard on the front, which is great on outback roads. It stops stones flicking up from the back of the truck, hitting the van and then coming forward and smashing the back window of your truck. There's a toolbox on the front of the van. It has places for jerry cans on both sides. Inside the toolbox there are sliding rails, one for each side of the toolbox. The toolbox is in two compartments. So this side is the barbecue side. It's designed specifically for a Weber baby Q. I've got a gas line here which will come down and connect to this gas bayonet here, which runs from the gas bottles. Very quick to connect. This is the tunnel boot. It goes all the way through. We got things fairly organised. We don't have to pack a lot of things in here, and we have tubs to organise our items into various categories. I'll share that later. I just want to show you this tap down here as well too. So I've got a hose with a handheld nozzle that can come in handy if you want to wash the car or wash the sand off your feet. That's good. So moving down the side of the van, the first thing we come across is the picnic table. It's a fairly simple device, but really useful. We've seen people put cooking appliances on here, rice cookers, slow cookers, that type of thing, and they can power it out of this bay here. This is actually the entertainment unit. So there's a slot here to put one of the TVs that are currently on the inside of the van, and we've got a 12-volt power supply, we've got an aerial, and we've got 240 volts power supply as well too. There's our truck tyres down there with the chocks. This is a light for lighting the step at night. We just added this mat here to take some of the dust off your feet. The step here is automatic from that switch there, which is pretty handy. So let's go around the back of the van. Just while you do that, you'll see there's some speakers up here. So there's a car stereo inside the van, and it operates 4 speakers, 2 externally and 2 internally. The awning on this van is the same as on a lot of modern vans, and they're just awesome. They're so quick to set up. Like Christine and I can set this up in probably about a minute. It can tend to flap in the breeze a bit, so we got these stabilizing lines here, and that's locked it down really well. Come around the back of the van, we've got a very strong bar on the back. We've got the spare wheel. There's a reversing camera up there. What that means is that I mainly use it for when we're driving, so I can see who is exactly behind the van at the point when I want to change lanes. Looking down the side of the van here, this is the external ports for the hot water system, which is run by gas as well as 240 volts. This is the cassette toilet bay here, so we can go and empty that at the dumping point. We've got an external shower here. It has hot and cold water. So it's just a little nozzle to switch off and on to wash your feet or wash something else. We have 2 fresh water tanks, 95 litres each, with filling caps. But if we look at the plumbing underneath here, this is where the mains comes into the van, and then underneath here we've got some taps, 2 taps.
that is for filling our freshwater tanks directly from the mains hot water. We just turn those off and on. This is our grey water tank right there, and we've got a nozzle here, and of course that's the grey water line that goes off to the sewerage. But the tanks, this is a semi-off-road van, so the tanks are protected with metal, so they don't get damaged by the rocks. Moving down the side of the van here, what else have we got? That's a radio aerial for listening to music, that type of thing. This is where the power supply comes in, and this is these safety electrics there as well too. The tunnel boot from the other side, it goes all the way through. So I have these tubs, and I just have them arranged simply. This is the plumbing type tub. We put our fresh water line goes in here when it's time to get onto the road, and a few extra supplies in there. I've got an extra inline water filter there, because some of the places we go to, bore water can be pretty unpleasant in taste, but the filters will help with that. Nothing wrong with running 2 filters. Outside here we've also got another filter underneath the sink inside the van that came with the van for our drinking water. This is where the electrics go, so the electric cable will eventually go into this box. All packs up really neatly in here. So we can set up our van and pack up our van in 30 minutes for each of those tasks, which pretty comfortably, and we're really happy with that. This is the other side of the toolbox. Got our fire pit there ready to go. There's my electric drill, which is really good for putting up these stabilizer legs, because there's just a hex nut on the end there. You can wind it pretty quickly. You got to do it gently though. You can damage these things with electric drills with the speed and the power that they have. So the toolbox on the other side, another spot for a jerry can. Up on top of the roof we've got our hatches, we've got our television antenna which winds up and down from the inside of the van, and we can also change the direction of it from inside the van to point it directly to television towers. The van also comes with a booster to boost the signal, and we're at Harvey Bay here, and we're just running on our own antenna, our own booster, and we've got a perfectly good digital signal for all the digital TV channels we want to watch. I think that is pretty well it. I hope you've enjoyed that video, and we'll catch you next time.